Hello, my name is Cheryl Repose, and I'll be leading you through some mindful movements. These videos are being produced as part of a funded study in the laboratory of Dr. Ruchika Prakash, Department of Psychology, The Ohio State University. For this practice, you probably want to have something soft to lie on. This is a nice, bright, thick yoga mat. Provides for nice cushioning. Maybe a thick blanket to lie on, some cushions, whatever works for you. And you'll also probably want to have a couple thick blankets or maybe even a bolster, because at some points you might wish to support your spine by bent knees with a bolster underneath the knees. And you might want to have a blanket just to lift your head a little bit. So if you have that prepared for in advance, you can kind of just go with the flow of this lesson. Right, so first we will begin by coming down to lying flat on the floor. And I'm going to have a little bit of a blanket to give my head and neck just a little bit of a lift. And I'm going to have the blanket right on my shoulders, meeting my shoulders just to lift my head a bit. My arms are relaxed at the sides, and because I have lower back issues, I probably will keep my knees at least slightly bent to support my lower back. Maybe rest my hands on my belly or, wherever you feel comfortable. And let's give ourselves over to a nice full inhalation and a nice long letting go exhalation. And feeling the back body just starting to soften down into the floor. Noticing the areas in the back body that are making contact with the mat and the areas that aren't. Scanning the back body a little differently than we've done body scan before, but just kind of coming up from the heels, following up through the ankles and the calves, back of the knees, the hamstrings, the buttocks. Just breathing and scanning up the back body. Noticing muscles, sensations in the lower back, the back of the ribs, the spine, shoulder blades, shoulder joints. Just moving all the way up to the back of the neck, the back of the skull, top of the skull, and kind of pouring down slowly from the top of the head, not only down through the front body, just to see what's here, just to kind of say hello to our body and how it is and what's showing up for us in this moment. Scanning down the whole front body and maybe even going down into and through. So below the surface of the skin, down into and through the arms and behind the chest and the internal organs, scanning all down through the belly and the top of the legs, the quads, the hamstrings. Down into the feet, and holding in awareness your body as a whole, lying here for a few more moments, watching the breath. Feeling the breath. Noticing where you feel the breath moving mostly in the body right now. Noticing the action of the diaphragm and its impact on your body's breathing. Where is the breath most present in your awareness? Settling into
committing yourself to be as fully present for the breath and for each of the movements that we'll be engaging in here today. So if you have knees bent or have a bolster under your knees, extend your legs long on the floor. Reach your right arm overhead, palm is up. Take an inhale and reach long, long through the right side of your torso. So you're reaching right through your right heel, all the way up to the right side of the body. Even the hands spread wide, the palms are open. Maybe take a full inhalation, hold it for a nanosecond, extend a little longer, a little more breath, and let go. And bring that hand back towards your torso. Maybe your legs kind of fall open like pages of a book. And next we're going to start to engage through the left leg and get long through the left leg of your torso. All through the back of the leg, through the hip joint. Extend the left arm up and reach long through the left side. The right leg is relaxed. Palm of the left hand is open wide, reaching. Inhale, stretch, reach through that heel. And let go of the breath and let go of that stretch. Inhale and exhale, let the feet flop open. Invite your body to soften, release into the floor. And for our next movement, we're going to bring our knees flat onto the floor. Readjust your spine a little bit. And your clothes. So I'm going to lift my spine so that I can relax it down onto the floor a little more. Open the arms to the side, let the knees drop together, and I'm going to drop both legs stacked on top of each other to the left, and just breathing and release some tension that I'm holding in the right hip joint. Just relaxing and letting go into that. Bringing the legs back upright, let the knees drop together. And then we're going to drop both legs over to the right. And if it feels like it's too close, too tight of a twist, just walk your feet out a little bit, so you have a little more space for this twist. And then we're going to bring the knees back together. Lift and readjust the spine. Now we're going to take our right leg, draw it in. Draw it into the right side of our torso. Breathing here. Relaxing the shoulder joints. Inviting the back body to melt into the floor a little bit more. And we're going to start making little circles with that right hip joint. So guided circles. You could start to the right or to the left, whatever you feel like. But a few cycles in each direction. Just very aware of the movement while the movement is occurring and the sensations that accompany it. The circles might be small, and if they're bigger, the sensations might feel differently. And then after a few circles, we'll draw that leg in a little more deeply. And while it's drawn in, we're going to make some little circles through our ankles and pointing and flexing the toes and the feet. Moving energy in these joints feels good, in my experience anyway, to move my foot this way. And then I'm going to take this right leg and with support of my hand, turn and place the ankle just below the left knee. And I'm going to use the right hand pressing into the right inner thigh and feeling some stretch and opening in the right hip joint. Breathing here. And this could be plenty deep of a stretch for many of us. And if it is, fine, there's a lot of work we can do right here. Noticing what's going on in our lower back, relaxing our lower back into the floor a little more. And then for some of us, if we happen to have somewhat open hips, because usually of stretching, we might be able to pick our left foot up off the floor, take our right hand, we can start like at the heart space, and head our fingers right down through into the hole, and hook our left hand around to meet the fingers, breathing. And if it's too deep of a stretch here, we might just take hold of our pant leg and draw the leg in this way. So holding in whatever fashion suits you, and you might use your right elbow to kind of guide that inner thigh away a little more. Keep relaxing into releasing sensations. And then we'll plant the left foot down, undo the right leg, and relax. And feel the sensations of the release. And then we'll bring the left foot in, the left knee in. Draw it in deep to the left side of the body, and we'll start to make some circles to warm up that joint. And we might go both directions. And then the ankle and the foot, bringing kind attention to stretching and moving, circles, pointing and flexing through the foot and the ankles, breathing. And then we'll take the outside of the left ankle, place it just below the right knee, pressing into the inner thigh, feeling the impact of that on the lower back. Breathing here, relaxing the lumbar. And again, this might be a deep enough hip opener. And for others, we might lift the right foot up off of the floor, grab hold of the leg, grab hold under the calf at the hamstring, realign our spine a bit, reach through further, whatever's accessible for you. Breathing and drawing those bent legs in towards your chest. Breathing here, relaxing your shoulder joints if you realize you're holding some tension there. And then we'll release. And for a little bit of a groin opener, if you will, we're going to plant both feet on the floor. Take your hands, place them on the outside of your legs, and just kind of release your legs open. You can use your hands to guide your inner thighs down. And just breathe and give some moments for all the fascia, the ligaments, and the groin area to release. Breathing. And then we'll bring our legs back together for support. And we're going to do a deeper twist now. We did the knee drop twist a little bit ago, and now we're going to extend that twist a little bit. So extend the left leg out long on the floor. And we're going to take the right foot and place it, depending upon how deep of a twist you can do. If you think you will like a deep twist, you'll probably want to place your right foot above your left knee. If, because of back conditions or whatever, you want an easier twist, you'll place the foot just below the knee. Okay? Let's open our arms to the sides. But now we'll take the left hand and place it on the outside of the right thigh. And we're going to guide that right knee down to the floor towards the left. Kind of peeling open through the chest and the arm, and just dropping that right knee down towards the floor, supporting it however you might need to. You should feel some strong sensation all through the right hip. Releasing and breathing. Maybe moving even more deeply into this twist. And then we'll guide that leg back to center and extend that right leg on the floor. Now, twist on the other side. So we will extend through the right leg, place the left foot below the right knee or above it. Left arm is out to your side. Right hand on the outside of that left knee. And then we'll start to spiral over to our right. Relax the left shoulder into the floor. Breathing. Inviting tissue to open here, feeling a little twist in the lower back. Breathing. Spiraling muscles, sensations in the lower left back, perhaps. And guiding the knee back to center. Now from here, we're going to roll over to our left side, so adjusting the spine using our top hand to carefully bring ourselves upright. And we're going to come onto all fours for some cat-cow and for some spine and side stretching. So as we come up, if anything's in your way, you want to move it. And we're going to come on to all fours. So start by spreading your hands nice and wide, stretching through those muscles and those tissue. Invite the back to be relaxed but flat. Your shoulder blades are kind of rolled down your back. So to engage those shoulder blades, you might need to kind of spiral in your inner elbow, spiral that forward, which helps the blades rest on the back. So we will start by tucking the tailbone under, rounding through the spine, releasing the head and neck down, getting long and wide through the back. A few breaths here. And we'll release through flat back, tilt the tailbone up, drop the belly, lift the heart space up, open through the chest, blades are on the back. Breathing, tucking the tailbone under, rounding, and release to flat back, tailbone up, belly drops, heart lifts, head, crown lifts, and release. And now for arcing the spine and working the spine in another direction. Let's point out the left toes. And we're going to take those toes, lift that left leg up, place it over to the right side of our bent right leg.
And now we're going to spiral around to look kind of at our right leg, the toes, the knee, wherever our eyes can land. But breathe here and stretching all through the arched side of the torso. And release to center and plant the knee. And if your hands are getting compromised, it's starting to feel too much pressure on your wrists, you might make some circles, or you can always come to making fist, which might help your wrists. So now we're going to take the right leg, lift it up, arc it over to the left, place it on the floor. Turn, breathing, opening the body, opening to a deeper awareness of sensations and breath in the body. And then bring that leg back to center. And one more movement on the floor this way. In tabletop. And this is going to be more of extension and a balance and a strengthening movement. So we'll maybe start with our knees a little closer together. And we're going to lift that right leg, reach it out, reach long. Get as long as you can, reach through the heel. Now we need to balance on the left knee, shin, foot. And if you can balance better by coming onto the left toes, that's fine. And we're going to extend the opposite opposite arm, so the left arm comes out, the right arm is reaching long, the face is looking down, breathing, trying to ground and support ourselves. It can be challenging pose, staying with it to the degree you're able, and then release, and release that knee. Shake out your wrists if you need to. And now the left leg comes up, high, reach through the heel. It's high in terms of what the length feels like coming out of your spine. Get your balance, adjust your hand posture for more balance if you need to, and then extend the opposite arm, reaching the leg up and out, and reaching the right hand and fingertips forward, breathing here, rooting, extending, and release. And now for a much deserved and perhaps enjoyed child's pose. So assuming your knees are in good enough place right now so you can bend. If you can't, you can place a blanket behind your knees, which helps. You might tuck your toes under, you might keep your feet flat, but we're going to sit back. Sit back the best we can, dropping our bellies to the floor. We might want to stack our hands to rest our head. Maybe we can just turn our face onto the floor. But arms are out and lengthening all through the spine. Maybe imagining a friend has just placed a 5-pound sandbag on your lower back, which invites you just to release down further. Now we're going to come out of that pose. And we're going to extend our legs out. You might want to be sitting on a little bit of a cushion or such to lift your sits bones a little bit so the pelvis floats forward a little more, which makes it easier on our backs. So we stretch through the backs of the legs a little bit, but we're going to do so a little more now. So as you're sitting here, just try to root the whole of your back leg down into the floor, toes coming forward, breathing here, noticing your posture might be collapsing, trying to extend up and reach up through the spine, up through the crown of the head. Now we'll probably want to soften the legs a little bit. We're going to inhale the arms up, reach long here, extend through the sides, arc over at the hip joints, and let your hands come to wherever they come, onto your shins or your ankles, maybe even your feet. But breathe up, kind of draw your chest more forward towards your feet. Let your chest rest down towards your quads. Relax your head and neck. Breathe here. Following the breath, letting the upper torso release more and more. And then using your hands maybe to help you come and sit upright. And now we're going to come back onto our backs to do a really kind of therapeutic rocking and rolling through the spine. It stimulates the central nervous system. It brings, or it can bring, ease to the body. So we're on our backs once again. And maybe we don't have anything under our heads because that could get in the way on this one, I think. So lying flat, let your knees drop together. Now this is the knee drop that we did a little earlier, but we're going to stimulate the whole spine by bringing the arms in on this movement as well. So palms facing palms, arms up. Inhale, on an exhale, drop the legs to the left, stacked, but the arms release over to the right, and the head rolls to the right. And inhale, straight up, knees, hands, arms drop over to the left, legs to the right, head goes to the left with the arms, breathing. And inhale back to center, and exhale, this twisting drop. The spine, the organs, the whole central nervous system really does love this. Breathing, and a few more of these movements. Just feel how nurturing this can be. One more drop to the right, or whatever direction you're in. Back to center. And we'll just kind of finish that off a little bit by bringing the knees in, rocking a little side to side. And then extending the legs onto the floor, knees bent if that's what you prefer, or legs out, arms at rest. And let your body release. Let your breath release. Sinking into the floor, into your experience. Let go of something somewhere. Use yoga to become aware, to touch what lies beneath the surface of the skin. Is there tension, longing for release, a knot of fear so deep and familiar that you believe it's part of who you are? Enter on the wings of breath. Turn the key of self-acceptance to let go of something, somewhere. Soften.